I know it's not that cool to like science, but as a teenager, I actually quite liked some of my science lessons. Those chemistry lessons when you got to get the Bunsen burners out. I remember once accidentally burning my mate's eyebrows off. I remember my first biology lesson when we got to get the microscopes out and get to look at different things through the lens. I remember my teacher saying, get creative. So we started looking at pens and our pencil cases and our blazers through the microscopic lens. And then I got a little bit too creative, because what I did, it was a bit disgusting as well. I picked my nose and put it on the slide and looked at it through the lens. My teacher hit the roof. She properly kicked off on me, but she was the one that told us to be creative. But I did quite enjoy some lessons, but there were some science lessons that made me feel a little bit awkward, particularly the ones about talking about evolution and the Big Bang Theory and how the world was made. And if you're a Christian, those might be the science lessons that make you feel a little bit awkward as well. Today's question is, how was the world made? And if a friend asked you that, you might say, IDK, I don't know. It is a difficult question to answer. But where I want to start is where a lot of people think that science and faith and Christianity are against each other. They're not. They're not opposite ends of an argument. They're not on opposite sides. Science and faith can actually coexist. And I know loads of scientists that are real Christians as well. You know, I really think that science is just catching up with what is already happening. They're figuring out the things that God already knows. You see, the Big Bang Theory is a big theory on how the world was made. And personally, as a Christian, I have no problem believing in that the Big Bang Theory is true. Not that it was made out of nothing, but if God wanted to create the entire universe using a Big Bang, he could have. You see, for me, how the world was made isn't that relevant, but it's about who made the world. And I firmly believe that God made the world, that there is a creator and a designer. You see, it's a scientific impossibility for something to be created out of nothing. And actually, scientists keep researching and looking into the Big Bang Theory and going, actually, if there was something that created the Big Bang, then what created that, and what created that, and what created that? And actually, it is a scientific impossibility that there was a Big Bang out of nothing and it created everything. You see, what the research and some leading scientists have actually been led to believe in a creator and a designer because they know that something cannot be created out of nothing. And I really believe that there is a designer and a creator in this world. I really believe that is God. Genesis, the account in Genesis 1 talks about 7 days God created, but actually it's written in a kind of a poetic kind of way. It's not written as a historical account. It's written to be kind of like a bit of a poet. And all it's trying to communicate is that it was God who created the world. It is God who is the designer. It is God who created the something out of nothing. You're going to discuss some questions in your cruise, and then we're going to come back and look a little bit at evolution theory and look at some other stuff as well.